Hello guys, in this video we are going to learn how to create a basic 3D garment in CLO 3D. So without wasting any time, let's go into the computer screen. So in the computer screen we have to go in the file, and in the add section we will add an avatar. For here I am using a male avatar. You will see there are two windows. The left one is the 3D window and the right one is the 2D window. So let the avatar appear. Okay, now you can see in the 3D window we have a 3D view. In the 2D window we have a 2D view for making any kind of pattern. Clicking on the scroll in the 2D window you can move, and by clicking on the right click button of your mouse you can move the avatar. You can zoom in or out by scrolling the wheel button. There are some shortcuts. By pressing 2 you will get the front view, by pressing 4 you will get the right view, by pressing 6 you will get the left view, by pressing 8 you will get the back view. So these are all the even numbers 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, now while making any kind of pattern you need to know about some tools. Just like there is a polygon tool, it is used as a pen tool in the Illustrator. Okay, so now let's draw a basic t-shirt pattern. I'm starting with the middle point, and by clicking and dragging you will get these curved lines. Make the pattern as you want. And by clicking the shift you will get the exact straight line, either in 90-degree or in 45-degree. Okay, I think the first half is done. Now we will select with the select button, and with the edit button we will select the middle line to unfold. We will unfold symmetric editing with swing. Now the front pattern of the total garment is ready. If we change anything in one half, it will automatically change in the other half. Now in order to make the back pattern we will simply select copy and paste by clicking Ctrl C and Ctrl V. Okay, now I think it's okay. As we know that the back neck is a little bit of tilt up, so we will select the edit pattern and we will tilt the middle point by 2 centimeter by clicking the up arrow of our keyboard. Now to make that curve smooth we will need to edit the curvature tool, and I think it's not done yet. We will select edit curvature, and with this handle we will drag up and down so that our basic curve shape appears. Okay, now I think it's okay. Now we will do the same thing with the front pattern. By clicking the edit pattern tool you will get many options, and I am just literally making this curve look better. I think now it's perfect. Okay, with the edit pattern tool you can select the top part and increase it by 2 centimeter by clicking the up arrow key, as because the back side is a little bit raised from the front side. Now we will add the arrangement points. For this we will get these blue dots, and by selecting the front pattern and clicking any kind of blue dot will give us the measurement where the pattern should be placed. And as you can see the front pattern placed literally well, and for the back pattern we will flip it horizontally. That's because the inner side should face towards the body of the avatar. Okay, now these things might get you distracted because these yellow, green or blue lines are usually made to move the pattern in sideways. just like the red one is to make that little bit backward. And after placing it, I think it's okay. And for the font part, I am just literally moving it to forward position because I need to maintain a minimum gap between the two patterns. Okay. Now for the sleeves, we need to at first measure the armhole measurement. If we click any of the armhole, there appears a blue written number, and with the polygon tool I am just clicking and typing that exact number. For mine it's 25.54, and as the height I am just using 22 centimeters. Okay, now rectangle has been created. So with the edit pattern tool, I will simply click the top one and create the offset as the internal line, and I will be making a distance one third of the armhole length, and the distance is just 8.51 centimeter. So after clicking the OK, there appears a line. Then the next step is to minimize 1 point to that line. Okay, now we will select the red internal line and delete it, and this curved line should be divided into half. So we will right click and split that. So in the splitting option, we will select the uniform split and create OK. Now with the edit curvature tool, we will simply raise the first part, okay, and simply down the second part. Now it's a perfect curve, and as we know the sleeve is just a little bit of narrow, so we are just clicking it by 2 or 3 centimeters inward. Now I think it's totally okay, and as the same we will unfold it. Okay, now the unfolding is done. There is a little bump over the top of the sleeve. Okay, so we will fix it. We were just clicking it, and by the handles we are just making it look better. Let me do that. Okay, now I think it's a kind of perfect. Okay, now it's totally perfect. Now by clicking the edit pattern tool, we are getting a value. Okay, let me click. Now just clicking the edit pattern tool, we are getting a value 25.51, and this part along with this part should be 25.51, but it's totally a larger amount than our sleeve. So we will just literally make this 2 centimeter inward, so that the basic value becomes around 25 centimeter. Now I think it's okay, and for the back one we will do the same. By clicking shift and selecting the lines will give you the total measurement. In case it's 27 point something. Okay, now I think the back one is correct. I don't need to adjust it anymore. So now we will place the pattern on the sleeve as by clicking the blue dots. Okay, I think this option is better. Now we will turn off the show arrangement points. Done. Now we will create a copy of this pattern, as there are two sleeves. So in this case we are just selecting the symmetric pattern and we are just placing. The main reason for selecting the symmetric pattern is that if we made any change in any of the pattern, the same change will be applied to the other pattern. Now as we can see, the other pattern has been automatically adjusted to the other ways. Now we are just making these patterns stitch together. In this case we are using segment stitching, and if we join a part from this to this, the another part automatically joins as the symmetric editing is on. Okay, we can check this out. It's perfect. Now we will stitch the rest of the things, and that part automatically appears by checking it we are ensuring that everything is perfect. Okay, now for the sleeves you might get confused, so just click on the 3D window and you will be able to find from where to where it should be stitched. I am stitching with this part to this part, with this part to this part. It's perfect. And again clicking on the 3D window, I am just tracing out the stitch lines. Okay, I think it's now perfect. Let me check if everything is okay. Everything is fine. Now we will hit the simulate button, or you can simply press the tab bar. After hitting the simulate button, look, the garment is now totally ready, and let us check if everything is okay. Okay, there is things that we have missed to stitch the lower parts of the sleeve. So let's stitch that out by unticking the simulation button, and by clicking on the segment swing we are just stitching from here to here. Okay, let me zoom it out. Okay, we are stitching from here to here, and again by pressing spacebar the simulation is complete. Now I think it's totally perfect. Now for the neckband we will measure the length of the neck in both front and back pattern. So we are simply clicking, and by pressing the shift we will get the total measurement. Okay, it's 636 point something, and for the total length in the property editor we will find that it is 73.36 centimeter. That's because we are just making the measurement of the half necks of both sides. Okay, now we will simply just click these two buttons, or just simply just one button, and we can reduce the neck size because I think it's too large. Okay, I think now it's okay, and we can do this for the front one as well. We are clicking one button because it's symmetric editing, and if we change anything the other side will automatically change. Okay, then after pressing the simulation button I think it's okay. Now for making the neckband we will again see what is the total length of the neck. So in this case we are just clicking the edit pattern tool, and by clicking shift we are getting the measurement half of the neckline, and in the property editor we will find that the total neckline is 61.84 centimeter. Now I think it's a preferable neckline. So in the polygon tool we will create a rectangle by putting the value 61.87, and the width of the neckline usually is 2, so we are giving it 4 because we want to make it fold in the letter. Okay, now I think it's okay. By selecting the polygon tool and clicking the show arrangement point we are arranging the neck band around the avatar. Now I think it's okay. Now before stitching we have to add a point on the back neck. That's because if it's been stitched on the seam of the collar then it might look bulky. Okay, after adding the point I am just stitching from this line to this line, and by clicking shift I will stitch from more points from here to here, and the final part is just from here to here. I think now it's been okay, and if you click the simulate button, okay, there is another part we have just missed out to join the neckline. So we will simply select the segment swing tool and we will select this part with this part. Now I think it's okay. We will, after hitting the simulate button it will look like this. um, Now I think it's totally fine. So Now there are some additional things that we need to do. We would first select these two lines, and we will distribute internal line. Okay, now by clicking OK, I think it's fine. Now we will fold the collar. So in order to do that, we have to select a fold arrangement tool, and we have to click on the internal line in the 3D avatar, and if you click, there will be a circle appeared, and by doing so, the upper part would be fold in the inward position. Okay, before sewing, we need to ensure that in the property editor the angle is turned from custom, and the fold rendering is turned on for a clean flat pressed fold. Okay, now we will hit the simulate button. Now it's a clean thing. Okay, in order to fold the sleeve and the bottom hem, we will follow a different method. We will simply select the hemline of the sleeve. Okay, after selecting, we will now create a offset pattern outline. Okay, and we will offset the distance by 2 centimeter, and the internal line will be 2. After creating OK, we will see that there will be a 2 internal lines. Now, as we have done in the previous, with the fold arrangement tool, we will fold one sleeve, and as the symmetric editing is on, the other sleeve will automatically be folded. And now we will swing. Before that, we have to turn on the fold rendering, and from the segment swing, we are gonna swing this line with this line and this line. Wait, my PC just hanged a little bit. Okay, with this line and this line. Now in the object or the property editor, we will find that the angle is turned on. Okay, now we will just simply hit the simulate button. Look, it's been perfectly folded. Now we have to use the segment swing tool to sew these points. I think the opening of the sleeve is now totally sewn. We will do this method same for the bottom hem. I think finally it's been done. Now we should check if everything is placed properly by rotating the 3D avatar. I think everything is quite good. So that's the main method of creating a t-shirt in Pro 3D with the help of making 2D patterns. And in the property editor or in the object browser, you can rename the fabric name, just like I am renaming it as the body. And in the property editor, you will find different options to work with. So just if the material is fabric made, you can choose anything you want, and after choosing anything you should just hit the simulate button. I am just leaving it for now. And there is one important thing: in the physical property you will find the fabric type. So there are lots of type over here, and I am just simply clicking the knit cotton rayon jersey. Okay, it will give a better look, and thus your garment is totally ready in the Pro 3D. Thanks for being with me.